Wizards made the huge mistake of putting Strip Mine on Magic Arena as a special guest for Edge of Eternity, so today, we're gonna be teaching some Arena Zoomers about Strip Mine. So here is our Strip Mine deck for Timeless on Magic Arena, and I am super excited for this one because Strip Mine is my all-time favorite land in Magic and one of my all-time favorite cards. If you somehow don't know Strip Mine, it's a land that makes a colorless mana, or you can sack it to blow up target land. And the goal of our deck today is not just to Strip Mine our opponent a little bit. We are trying to Strip Mine our opponent again and again and again to teach some Arena Zoomers the true power of Strip Mine. So how do you go all in building on Strip Mine? Well, first, we gotta find our Strip Mine, and we have a few options for this. Elvish Reclaimer in our deck, which is pretty good at getting lands in the graveyard, gonna be a 1 mana 3/4 most of the time, and we can pay to sack a land, tutor up a land, so we can sack a random land, get our Strip Mine. Sylvan Scrying just directly tutors up Strip Mine for 2 mana. Demonic Tutor can tutor up anything, or Strip Mine. Knight of the Reliquary, again, can sack forests or plains to tutor a land into play, even comes into play on tap, so we can use it right away. So this is our land tutoring package, and then we have a bunch of ways to reuse Strip Mine. So the biggest combo in our deck is Ice-Till Explorer, which is just an absurd card from Edge of Eternity. It's the 4 mana 2/4 that lets us play an additional land on each of our turns. We can play lands from our graveyard, and when we play a land, we get to mill a card for some reason. It is a bonkers card, but the idea here is, if we can get a Strip Mine, and Strip Mine our opponent once, then we play an Ice-Till Explorer, we get 2 land drops that turn. So we can play Strip Mine from our graveyard, Strip Mine you again, replay Strip Mine from our graveyard, do it again, and this is how we can get our opponent low on land super quickly. We also have some backups for this. Crucible of Worlds, Ramanamp Excavator are half of Ice-Till Explorer. They're that you can play lands from your graveyard half. So if we don't have an Ice-Till Explorer, not quite as explosive, but still we can Strip Mine every single turn once we have one of these out. Azuz the Lost But Seeking lets us play 2 extra lands in each of our turns. So if we get this down alongside like a Crucible of Worlds, that means we can Strip Mine 3 times each turn. Because the way this deck is going to work is we can't just Strip Mine naturally every single turn. Not only are we going to run out of Strip Mines, but we need some mana on the battlefield to do our stuff. So we want to Strip Mine to disrupt our opponent, and then play one of these extra land drop land from our graveyard effects, and then we can Strip Mine 2 or 3 times a turn and just get rid of all our opponent's lands super quickly. And once our opponent's out of lands, we pretty much just win the game, because our opponent can't win the game. And that's the theory of this deck. Like, we don't really got to kill our opponent most of the time. They're just going to give up once we blow up all their lands, and they can't play Magic anymore. The rest of the deck, Deathrite Shaman, Chromox, just ramp us into our combo pieces, give us some extra mana. Initially, I didn't want to play Chromox because it seems weird in a land-based deck, but Timeless is just such a degenerate format that you gotta do things as fast as possible, and it just speeds things up a little bit. Tireless Tracker, One Ring, give us card draw. Fatal Push and Thoughtseize, give us a bit of interaction. In the mana base, we already talked about Strip Mine a ton. We have one Field of the Dead, which is our, okay, you're actually gonna make us kill you, instead of just scooping to not having any land. So eventually, we'll find the one Field of the Dead, we can play lands from the graveyard to trigger it a bunch, make some zombies, kill you that way. Nurturing Peatland, also pretty cool with all of our play lands from the graveyard. This is a card advantage engine because we can just keep playing it and sacking it to draw extra cards. Then just a bunch of fetch lands, shock lands, some basic lands in the sideboard. Some catch-all answers like Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy. They can get rid of Graveyard Hate that'll shut down our Strip Mine plan, or like a Pithy Needle that'll shut down our Strip Mine plan. Force of Vigor for artifacts and enchantments, and then a bunch of combo hate. Stone Brain, Torp Orb, Disruptor Flu, Leyline of the Void for graveyards, and that is our Strip Mine deck for Timeless on Magic Arena, and that's our Against the Odds deck for today. So let's jump into some games and see just how many times we can Strip Mine some Arena Zoomers in Timeless. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy all the land destruction and all the Zoomer tears, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Need some Magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor Card Kingdom over at cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish. Want to help out the channel? Well, you can snag these super sweet new dice, playmats, tokens, and more over at mtggoldfishmerch.com. Against the Odds time. Today we are teaching some Arena Zoomers about the greatest card in Magic history, which is obviously Strip Mine. Actually, third greatest, behind Blood Moon and Panharmonicon, but still. And this hand's got a Strip Mine, and it's got a way to recur the Strip Mine, and even a little ramp to get it down early. Seems pretty good. I don't know about all these Chromoxes. Those might not do much at the moment, but still a keep. Let's see what our opponent's up to. Ooh, all right. Leading on the Surveil land. That is what Strip Mine likes to see. Well, opponent. let's see. So we can Chrome Mox, exiling Tireless Tracker. Oh, this is kind of insane, right? Chrome Mox, exiling Tireless Tracker. Turn to Crucible of Worlds. And we get to do a little strip mine in here. Get rid of that meticulous archive. About it. Yeah. We will not exile the strip mine. We'll exile your meticulous archive. Thank you for the mana, opponent. And yeah, get down the Crucible, and lock is assembled on turn 2, opponent. How we feeling, opponent? How we feeling over there? Would you like to play land, Arena Zoomer? Oh, fetch land. Okay, fetch lands actually do kind of get around the lock a little bit. Because if we try to blow up the fetch land, they just crack it in response. We'll see if our opponent cracks the fetch. If they crack the fetch, then life becomes very good. If they don't crack the fetch, then I guess we just have to wait for the time being until they do. Let's get in with our very aggressive Deathrite Shaman. Boom, down to 19. Opponent not cracking the fetch. Right, opponent, play a land. Hey, there we go. That's a land. Opponent gonna swords our Deathrite. Well, opponent, we do not like this. Strip mine your planes. We don't really need the Deathrite. The Deathrite did its job. I guess it's kind of our finisher, but it did do its job. Ooh, all right, more Crucibles in Ramanap Excavator. Well, let's, I guess, replay the strip mine. I think we're just gonna pass here. We're gonna leave up the strip mine so our opponent can't get any manas going. Another fetch land. All right, so opponent's gonna have to wait until they can do something and crack all their fetches. I think we're actually gonna target a fetch. This seems counterintuitive, but we're going to target the fetch. They're going to crack the fetch to get a land. But that means we get to play our strip mine again and get rid of the Lush Portico. Hello, Bearby. Are you enjoying the strip mining? Yeah, we're getting them. If you hear panting, that is just Bear. For some reason, he is right next to me panting up a storm. Well, strip mine, the Lush Portico. All right, opponent, still at 1 mana. It's working. Opponent, untap straws. Do we have, opponent cracking the fetch, giving up their last remaining source of mana. Okay. Yes, gets the planes, and that Kessler Veil is not going to be very good this game. Sam is not bad, though. It lets them get back their fetch land. What we really would like is a way to make extra land drops. Well, let's blow up the Kessler Veil. I mean, maybe they get us with the Sam. That seems kind of unlikely, but yeah, it's in for 2. Sure. You know what we're doing next turn? We are playing a strip mine, and we are strip mining your planes. Our opponent's going to run out of ways to lands to play. And that's when we really get them. That's what we're really going for, is the no lands opponent. Oh, they're looking at the March of Otherworldly Light. All right. Well, opponent spends 3 cards to answer the Crucible. Sadly for, oh my god, that's an Azusa. Sadly for our opponent, we have a Ramanap Excavator in hand. As good as Azusa is, I think we just want to keep strip mining. So we're actually just going to exile Azusa to the Chrome Mox. Our opponent, they just spent 3 cards. Ramanap Excavator, probably better known as Crucible of Worlds, that can block your Sam. And let's get a strip box. An opponent scoops it up. All right. Yeah, Strip Mine's a messed up Magic card. Well, let's bring in a little bit of catch-all removal. Bring in the Assassin's Trophy, bring in the Abrupt Decay, in case our opponent has like Rest in Peace or something silly like that. What are we, and then I guess we just trim a little bit. I guess Fatal Push, well, I didn't really get a good sense. The Sam is throwing me off. I thought they were like a blue-white style control deck, but then they had the Sam. Let's just trim a couple of Reclaimers maybe, run it like that. All right, on to game number 2. Hopefully it goes as well as game number 1, which went about as well as a game can go. I mean, not literally, because our opponent did end with some lands on the battlefield, but it turns out playing Strip Mine every turn pretty powerful. All right, Zoomer. What are we doing, Arena Zoomer? Do you have a plan to stop our endless strip mining? Oh my god, 2 strip mines and the Ice Till Explorer. Okay, and some thought. This hand actually looks kind of great. The only thing we'd like would be maybe a way to ramp into Ice Till. Oh, opponent, Ghost Vacuum. Well, that is annoying. That is actually an answer to our strip mine plan. Well, thankfully, we can still blow up your planes. Hello, opponent. Hello. how do you feel about that planes not being there anymore? Yes, yes, yes. You get to vacuum it up. Yeah, okay, so we do need to... We brought in answers to the Ghost Vacuum, so eventually... All right. Deathrite's actually not bad, but we're going to Thoughtseize first, I think. We're going to take your turn off. We can use one of our Strip Mines early. We want to save this other one for hopefully after we get rid of the Ghost Vacuum. Mana Tithe, all right. I can respect a good Mana Tithing. I can respect it. Oh, found it. Gonna exile the Thoughtseize, sure. Well, I mean, you got a window to actually cast a 2-drop. All right, opponent passes. Well, let's play the Forest. Thoughtseize you. This time with mana to pay for your Mana Tithes. Opponent going to crack the Windswept Heath. Plains and Reprieve. Sure. Well, we will play the Deathrite. So opponent's like a lot of counter spells for a white deck. Is this? I was gonna say mono white control, but I don't think they're literally mono white. They're blue white, but they're playing a ton of white counter spells, which is kind of counterintuitive. Usually, cards like Mana Tithe, I think, have the least amount of value in a. Yeah, let's do it this way. Let's see if we can eat this Windswept Heath. Actually, do we want to do that? We can just Thoughtseize. Yeah, let's just Thoughtseize. Reprieve. All right. Well, we are going to resolve this Thoughtseize somehow, some way. Grab a Overgrowth Tomb untapped and Thoughtseize you, please. Unfortunately, our opponent has 3 lands on the battlefield, which that means we're just not doing our job well enough. The Ghost Vacuum is slowing us down. The Ghost Vacuum is slowing us down a lot. We got another Mana Tithe and 3 lands. All right, well, I guess we'll take the Mana Tithe. Opponent is committed. They're committed to the Mana Tithes. Well, get in and hit you. Down 18. Our opponent has not much going on at the moment. We're going to get to start Ice Till Exploring. Although we can't really pop off until we answer the Ghost. Ooh, that is Assassin's Trophy. All right. Well, let's see if our opponent lets us do this. Are you going to Ghost Vacuum yourself? Wow, they are. All right, sure. Well, this is still fine, because now we can Windswept Heath. We can crack the Windswept Heath. Grab a Forest. Get down Ice Till Explorer. And we're just going to play the fetch again. We're going to wait. Next turn, we can Assassin's Trophy, the Ghost Vacuum, and then we're off to the Strip Mine races. We can't really attack because of a Ganjo, but that's fine. We don't really want to attack anyway. We just want to blow up some lands. Well, opponent was doing well, too. They got all the way up to 5 mana, which is kind of a lot. Well, all right. We on Field of the Dead. Our finisher. We found the one of... Well, okay. Let's see if they got a counter. Giving our opponent a land here is kind of a bummer, but we're going to be able to take away 2 lands if we get rid of this Ghost Vacuum. Reprieve. Very annoying. All right, well, good news is, Assassin's Trophy. Again, can we just kill this dang Ghost Vacuum opponent? Our opponent knows. They know they have to try to defend this because they know Strip Mine's a thing that we're doing, and we still have 2 land drop left, thanks to you, Ice Till Explorer opponent. Gonna eat the Thoughtseize, okay, sure. And opponent, you get to get a land because we're super nice. See, we're actually group hug. Opponent gets planes. Well, Strip Mine. This is what we were waiting for. Well, we mill a land. That's good. Well, let's Strip Mine your blue source. And Strip Mine. All right, land, that's fine. And yeah, let's just wait because we don't want them to like drop another Ghost Vacuum and eat it. Although oddly, it's kind of funny. I still explore putting a trigger on the stack. It can sometimes be a bit of a downside. Like it's an upside too, but it is sometimes a downside opponent. Maybe, you know what? I think they are mono white control. They're mono white control and they're just playing Surveillance lands. All right, whatever. Blow it up. If you got the Ghost Vacuum, you got the Ghost Vacuum. Yeah, they're mono white and they're just playing Surveillance for the Surveil, I think. That's gotta be what they're doing. Do you have Graveyard Hate? Ooh. Actually, I'm kind of dumb. We should have just exiled that probably with the Deathrite Shaman. That probably would have been better. I was thinking, we're gonna use Deathrite and start draining, but it probably would have been better to defend the Strip Mine there. Yeah, let's just keep waiting. Another Deathrite. Well, let's play Deathrite Shaman. Play the Peat Land. I mean, we're getting close to this Field of the Dead. Play the Peat Land. Ice Till Explorer does its thing. That Aganjo is keeping our opponent kind of alive. They're still at 15. I mean, the Field of the Dead's going to get them, though, I think. Field of the Dead is hard. I mean, well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Opponent, Archon of Emeria. Sure. Pass it. Well, let's eat a surgical. Drain you down to 13. And crack the fetch. Actually, do we crack it or do we wait? Yeah, let's crack it. Crack a fetch. Grab a swamp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, this should turn on the Field of the Dead. This also lets us kill the Archon, which I don't even know if we care about killing the Archon, but now we can start attacking with the Ice Still. And now we can start making zombies. So, Field of the Dead, make a zombie mill a card, and that's gotta do it, right? Yeah, we should have defended the Strip Mine, but I guess just cutting off 2 lands is gonna be enough here. It turns out Ice Still Explorer is actually kind of just a busted card. And then fetch land can make 2 zombies. Our opponent can try to Strip Mine us back, but then we just replay the Field of the Dead. So it doesn't actually, yeah, sure. Yeah, opponent Strip Mines. That is fine. We mill a 1 ring. Well, replay the Field of the Dead, make a zombie. Hit you with the Ice Still. I mean, we kill our opponent in like 2 turns. We actually kind of have a fast clock. Yeah, pass the turn. About it. Do we have an answer? Archon of Emeria. Sure. I mean, we can burn for 8, I think, just with these Death Rites. So, Death Rite, exile Mana Tithe. Get our revenge for getting Mana Tithe. That's right. Exile Reprieve down to 7. And Chrome Mox doesn't really do anything. Well, play the fetch land. Make some zombies. And play the Temple Garden. Make a zombie. And then I think if we just swing out, we hit our opponent to 3. I mean, this should just be game, right? Hit our opponent to 3. I mean, I guess the Strip Mine ended up not really mattering because we didn't have another Strip Mine anyway. Pound it down to 3. That's right. Well, we got them. Pony had the answers. They had the Ghost Vacuum. They had the Surgical Extraction. But in the end, Strip Mine, Death Right. Good enough. Ooh, all right. I mean, we got a Strip Mine. Sound seems pretty good. I mean, this hand might actually be kind of great because we can get down this. I mean, if our opponent doesn't have a way to disrupt us, we can get down this Ice Still pretty quick. Because we can Chrome Mox, we can actually just turn to it. Unfortunately, we can't turn to it and Strip Mine, right? 1, 2, 3. Actually, if we draw land, if we draw like a fetch land here, we turn to Ice Still Explorer and can Strip Mine our opponent's first land, which is absolutely ridiculous. Ice Still is a magic card. My God, opponent, fetch land. Well, okay, I guess that kind of works. No, it doesn't exactly work. Let's play the Strip Mine. We don't have a land to make mana with the Death Right. Because it's a fetch, we can't just Strip Mine it. Opponent Plains. You know what we can Strip Mine, though? That would be a basic Plains. How do you feel about a little LD? All right, they're going to Swords the Death Right. Well, that is annoying. That does keep us from super popping off here. Ooh, Azusa. Man, if we can get down... The Azusa doesn't do anything right now. Although, if we can get down the Ice Still Explorer, Azusa Ice Still is... That is pretty much a hard lock. With 3 land drops a turn and playing lands from the graveyard, that is a lot of Strip Mines. About it. Gonna crack the fetch. Gonna get a Meticulous Archive. Mills a Spell Pierce. Sure. And opponent gonna Brainstorm. Try to find some lands to make up for the ones we are destroying. I love Strip Mine. I love Strip Mine a lot. I honestly do not know if Strip Mine's going to be healthy for the format. It very well might not be healthy, but I'm going to fully take advantage of it while it's legal. Found it. Land passes. Hey, all right, well, Tireless Tracker. There is a downside to Strip Mining, which is it does also put us down a land. Our deck is built to get around that, right? Because we have a million extra land drops, way to play lands from the graveyard. So we are built to get around that, but this is one of those cases where an extra land would actually be really helpful. An extra land, we could be playing Ice Stills, we play Run Rings, pound it. I'm gonna grab a Jeskai land. And Hallowed Fountain untapped, and Flage. All right. Well, that is an issue. I think they can also get it back from the graveyard. We're also helping them fill the graveyard, I guess. Elvish Reclaimer. Well, okay. Not ideal. Hit you down to 15. Pass the turn. If they go land Flage, that's pretty bad for us. Okay. Oh, that's huge. So opponent, expressive iteration, got to dig to find the land. That is big. That gives us one more turn. If they just flage there, but if we strip mine, yes, we keep them off flage, but then we also are nowhere near casting our 4 drops. We really just need to draw 1 land to play the Ice Till Explorer, and then we can start doing... All right, Bolt on the Tireless Tracker, sure. And then we can start strip mining aggressively. Wow, Hand of Swords. All right, opponent. Cleaning up the board, cleaning up the board. Land, please, Magic Gods. Okay, Nurturing Peatland, not the best land, but we will take it. Finally, an Ice Till Explorer. Strip mine in the graveyard, get it back. Mill a forest, that's not bad. And now we are gonna start strip mining to see if we can keep our opponent from flaging here. So now they need another land if they want to flage. Yeah, there's the land. So can we beat a flage? So we can strip mine twice a turn now. We can play the One Ring to fizzle flage for a turn. Also, Ice Till Explorer, it's a 2/4 for some reason. So it actually dodges Bolt and Flage, which is just, this card is hilarious. It's just like ridiculous how pushed this card is. Found it, Flage, sure. Sure. I mean, that is a problem, but it'd be more of a problem if it could kill our Ice Till Explorer. Elvish Reclaimer, well, let's play a strip mine and blow up a red source and blow up a red source. All right, opponent down to 2 lands. So we just got to figure out a way to beat the Flage. We get to play the One Ring. We drop to 17. This gives us protection from Flage for a turn. Man, could you imagine if we had a Zeusa now? Opponent. Brainstorm's gonna see if they can find some lands to make up for the aggressive mining we've been doing. Oh man, it's so good. It's, if we draw a Fatal Push, I think it's game. Like, because we can put our opponent to 0 lands, so we just literally have to not die to Flage. Pound it, gets in with Flage. Hits the Ice Till. Well, we're not gonna block it. We will take 0. All right, opponent passes. Well, One Ring. We literally get to put our, oh, a Thoughtseize, okay. Thoughtseize isn't bad. Ramanap Excavator. We kind of already have that with Ice Till. Well, I mean, step 1, put you to 0 lands. Strip mine from the graveyard. Mill. All right, we didn't really need to tutor up a strip mine. But all right, opponent has a Stifle. Well, let's draw a couple cards. Replay the strip mine. So opponent's gonna have 1 land left. Opponent, just die. Just die already. Actually, we can play, this'll work. Let's play another Ice Till. This gives us another land drop to get rid of the last land. All right, opponent. Can you beat us with the Flage? That is the question. You got no manas. You know what, actually, let's just get rid of this Ramanap Excavator that we don't need. I think this actually beats the Flage too, right? Play the Elvish Reclaimer. So our opponent can attack, and we just block with everything, and Flage dies, and they're never going to recast it, and I think we wow. An opponent scoops it up, and that is the power of Strip Mine. And also the power of Ice Till Explorer, which is just a goofy, messed up Magic card. I don't even know if we really are going to change a ton. Most of our sideboard is to try to stop the degenerate decks, like various combo hate pieces, graveyard hate, combo hate. I guess we can bring in the catch-all stuff. I guess Stonebrain can get rid of the Flage. With how that game went, it felt like Flage was the one card that we were most worried about beating us, so maybe it's worth bringing it in and then just trimming like some of the Fatal Pushes, maybe. Trim back on like a Reclaimer. Our deck's pretty redundant. We can afford to go down a copy of some of the synergy pieces. Yeah, maybe the Sylvan Scrying. Run it like that. No Strip Mine, but this end's good. Thoughtseize into Deathrite, maybe? Yeah, we're gonna go off the Peatland to avoid Stifle here. We know our opponent's playing Stifle in their deck, so we kind of want to play around it if we can. Get a Spell Pierce? All right, sure. Well, I mean, we're not going to be able to play around it forever. Pound it. Hallowed Fountain passes. Well, let's play a Deathrite. All right, there's the Mana Drain. Sure. Well, we got the Mana Drain out of our opponent's hand, and they're only getting 1 mana, which is kind of huge. When you Mana Drain and get like 4 mana or something, it's so brutal, but 1 mana we might be able to deal with. Get down the Deathrite. Opponent gets their mana. I mean, this means we can theoretically Ice till next turn if Deathrite lives. Although, I mean, Ice till even without... All right, there's the flinch and take down the Deathrite. Ice till, even without Strip Mine is still pretty good. Well, all right. Knight of the Reliquary. This deck, so it's kind of influenced. I don't know if you remember this deck, but forever ago in Modern, there was a deck called Value Town. And this isn't exactly the same as Value Town, but it kind of reminds me of that deck a little bit because that deck, you don't get Strip Mine, of course, because it's Modern, but it was all about making extra land drops and trying to use Ghost Quarter as a Strip Mine to like eventually run your opponent out of basics, and then you turn Ghost Quarter into a Strip Mine. So this is kind of like a similar concept, except just way less effort. Come on, don't. All right, opponent, can we just draw a land then? Kills the knight. Oh boy. All right, we drew a land. Kind of the most awkward time to draw our one Field of Ruin, or Field of the Dead, but opponent going to expressively iterate again. I mean, we know that Flage is coming. It would be kind of nice if we could start strip mining to keep our opponent from Flage. Wow, do they whiff on lands? Oh god. Oh no. Oh no, betrayed. Betrayed. Okay, so what we do here, I still explore, run it out. We don't have a strip mine, but we do have a fetch land, which is 2 mill triggers, which could mill us into a strip mine. And if we mill into a strip mine, okay, Fatal Push. Kind of glad that's milled. Well, let's crack the Burn Catacombs. Snag a, yeah, I guess tapped Overgrown Tomb is fine. We don't need the mana. We just want to mill a strip mine. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, that's Power of the Millin. That is a strip mine, and that is your last red source. And we know our opponent missed a land drop last turn. This might be, I mean, our opponent needs something here. It's over. Like, we strip mine their last 2 lands if they don't do something here. Brainstorm, Desperation, Pound it, digging. Come on, Arena Zoomer. Can you beat the strip mining? The answer appears to be no. Turns out, hard to win games of Magic when you ain't got no lands. Well, this hand doesn't have a strip mine, but I actually kind of like it. Oh, Eldrazi. Okay. I don't know how this goes. Eldrazi is kind of busted because you have Ancient Tomb now on top of Eldrazi Temple, on top of Ugin's Labyrinth. Like half your mana base makes 2 mana. Well, let's play Deathrite. The good news is that means our strip mines take away 2 mana. What's better than strip mining a land that makes 1 mana? A land that makes 2 mana. It's like strip mining a bounce land almost. Well, all right, double Deathrite. Not that they're doing much because we don't have any lands in the graveyard, but a fetch land would be a spectacular draw. Chalice on 1. Well, thankfully we got our... Well, it's fetch land. Thankfully we got our Deathrites down. Well, let's crack this. The question is, what are we... Are we just like... we can play a ring. Actually, let's just... Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pass up the ring. Let's get down the ring, start drawing some cards. We could play Knight of the Reliquary to try to find the strip mine that way, but I feel like just drawing a bunch of cards is probably a decent way to find strip mine. This also means I can't Thought Knot us this turn, which is good. Sowing Mycospawn. All right, we really need a strip mine to start blowing up some lands. Pound it. Grabs Eldrazi Temple and passes. We find, okay, Crucible of Worlds, not a strip mine though. Well, let's draw with the ring. 2 more fetch lands. We might just run all of our stuff out then, I guess. We can play Azusa, make 2 land drops, play the Knight of the Reliquary, and just see what happens. And then next turn, Knight can get the strip mine. I mean, strip mine Azusa Crucible is a lot of land destruction. Yeah, let's crack a Windswept Teeth. We need like one more turn. Crack the Windswept Teeth. We are down to 11, which is not a ton of life. Get down the Knight of the Reliquary. All right. Hold. Oh, next turn's going to be so sweet if we untap with this setup. We just Knight of the Reliquary, sack it. Knight gets the land untapped. So we sack a forest, get the strip mine. Strip mine 3, play the Crucible, strip mine literally all except for 1 land. So opponent needs something good here. They need at least removal. Even if they have something, we still have the ring at least to draw cards. Kozilek's Command. Takes down the Knight. I mean, that was big. That was big for our opponent. And now they have mana, so they can play something else. All right, well, it's going to be up to the ring. And all right, well, there's the Thought Knot Seer. Sure. There goes our Crucible. All right, so now we could use like an Ice Tail would be good. I think we just take it. We could triple block. I really want to keep Azusa another turn though. All right, down to 8. Now we can exile a land, make black. I mean, this is not a ton of value, but we might as well. Exile the Kozilek's Command, drain ya. All right, we drop to 6. Chrome Mox is not what we were looking for. Another ring would be fine. Ooh, all right. Play the Strip Mine. Blow up the Labyrinth. Oh, that Thought Knot was so huge for our opponent. That Thought Knot was huge. Because now we don't have a way to play lands from the graveyard. Yeah, I guess we just play the Chrome Mox. Exile the Thoughtseize. Pass the turn. Casting the Thoughtseize would be nice, but there is currently a Chalice on one. Found it. Well, we got to do some blocking. So we can, let's see. So if we double block like that, we have Azusa. Azusa is really good if we draw Ice Till. But we might have, if we draw Ice Till, we probably have enough land destruction. All right, we're going to block with Azusa. I think we need to keep a Deathrite alive because Deathrite can gain us life now that there's creatures in the graveyard. So chump chump. Oh, another Thought Knot. Okay, that's going to make it tough. Oh, yeah. Well, exile a creature, gain some life. So now we pretty much have to hit a One Ring, I think, to buy another turn. Well, here comes the Strip Mines. Well, One Ring. That keeps us alive. And then it also triggers Revolt. So I guess we can Fatal Push the Thought Knot. I mean, we might as... Oh, right. Chalice check, Chalice. We just wanted to make sure our opponent remembered they had a Chalice. You know, sometimes people forget. Well, you know what? Pay no attention to that. Instead, pay attention to this Strip Mine at Eldrazi Temple. It's gone. It's gone. And I think we actually draw with the One Ring. It's a Thoughtseize, though. All right. Yeah, we're in... I mean, so we've cut off our opponent's mana. The problem is we're so far behind on board that I'm not sure. We need really good draws here. Exile Azusa, go up to 7. Drop back down to 6. Forest not going to do it. We don't really have a Wrath. Elvish Reclaimer, which there's a Chalice. Haha. That our opponent remembers. Yeah. Eldrazi. The funny thing is, I don't even feel like Eldrazi is really a bad matchup because I feel like we should be able to just blow up all their Ancient Tomb lands and they won't be able to do anything. But let's bring in a couple of Assassin's Trophies as the catch-all. Trim some ones because of Chalice, run it like that. All right, on to game number 2. We're going to be on the draw. Apparently, Eldrazi might be the nemesis of Strip Mining Arena Zoomers. We got a Strip Mine. We got a couple removal spells. It seems fine. Let's lead on Overgrown Tomb tapped. I don't think there's anything we're going to be fatal pushing on turn 1 against Eldrazi. Gonna have to play some Prison with Ancient Tomb. Oh no. Disruptor Flute to shut down Strip Mine. This Arena Zoomer has come prepared. Mackie Floyd does not want to lose a Strip Mine. Yeah, we might be in trouble. Oh my god, in a turn 2 Thought Knot Seer. Oh, we're definitely in a bit of trouble. Oh, you know what? We're gonna blow up this Disruptor Flute because we came here to Strip Mine, and if we're not Strip Mining, there's not even any point in playing Found Against Forest. I'm sure I mean, you got to take the Fatal Push, right? We have 2 Chrome Moxes that do literally nothing at the moment. Yep. Deathrite Shaman. Well, I mean, play the Deathrite and Strip Mine. Get rid of, I guess, the Eldrazi Temple. It's kind of the same thing in their deck, except they got to take damage off the Ancient Tomb. Not feeling good about this, though. Opponent had, I mean, it's a power Ancient Tomb, right? The super fast disrupt. Oh, no. Oh, no. Another one. This might be a quick one. Fatal Push. Well, I mean, this time we can Fatal Push Thought Knot, and guess what? There's not even a Chalice on the battlefield. I guess we just take the Temple Garden tapped. Fatal Push. Get rid of that Thought Knot Seer. Draw us a Godless Shrine. Well, fast turn. Our opponent's going to start playing big scary things up. And Glaring Flesh Raker. Well, there's the finisher. Well, let's eat a Thought Knot, gain a little life. Thought Seize. Well, we might as well cast it. Let's see what they're working with. Thief of Existence, Sire of Seven does. Well, we're never beating the Sire, so we gotta take it. Play the land. These Chrome Moxes have been so bad this game. They've been so bad. So Thief of Existence can blow up non-creature permanents. I don't know what they're trying to target in our deck, but about it. Well, nothing to exile probably, because we took the Sire. Well, there's a Thief of Existence. About it. Bangs us. Makes the spawn. Yeah, well, down to 13. Hits us down to 11. And if we don't draw anything, I think we're just going to scoop it up here. We don't really have a way to catch, without our strip mines, we don't really have a way to catch back up in this game. Forest. Well done, Arena Zoomer. Well done. I hope we play Eldrazi again because I think it actually is a good matchup, but yeah, on the play. And teaching some Arena Zoomers about Strip Mine. This hand got no Strip Mine, but we do have a Knight of the Reliquary to find it and some Tireless Tracker. This one's for you, Phil. Shout out to Brewer's Kitchen. Well, land and Thoughtseize. Oh, it's Eldrazi again. Okay. On one hand, it's awkward to play the same deck multiple times. On the other hand, I kind of wanted to play this deck again because they kind of spanked us in the first match, and I think it's actually not that bad of a matchup, but we're going to take the Myco Spawn, leave our opponent with a handful of removal spells. Myco Spawn gets a land, and that undoes an entire strip mining. I don't know, maybe this is a bad matchup because our opponent just makes so much mana. Maybe they make enough mana to get around. Man, this hand's slow. Slow. Well, let's Temple Garden tapped, go. I mean, next turn we at least get to play something. Found it. Craig the Misty Rainforest. I mean, I guess we can play like the Knight of the Reliquary, and if they can't Ugin's binding it, we can use that to get a strip mine, or we can use it to ramp into Ice Till and then try to get the strip mine. One of the nice things about Ice Till and its milling is the milling does tend to find the strip mine. Like, even if we don't start with one, Ice Till has really impressed me. And Timeless is an absurdly degenerate format. I think Timeless is honestly the most degenerate format in all of Magic. Even counting like Vintage and Legacy, it is a very degenerate format. Found it. Gonna strip mine it. Strip mine us, will ya? Strip mine us, will ya? Well, land go. Opponent wants in on the strip mining action. That actually does slow us down quite a bit here. Found it. Do we have something to exile? Ugin's Labyrinth. And no exile. Okay. Let's crack this for Catacombs. Snag us a shock land of some type. So if we take, let's just take the Godless Shrine. And then, wow, so many Ice Tills. Well, Verdant Catacombs. Crack Verdant Catacombs. Grab a Plains, or a Forest rather, get down the Knight of the Reliquary, and thankfully our opponent can't Kozilek's Command it. If they draw land, they can Ugin's Binding it. If they don't draw land, they're probably dead. Well, all right, did not draw the land and scoops it up, and that went way better. We didn't even strip mine him. We didn't even need to strip mine him a bunch. Our opponent just did not draw their lands. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the same thing. Bring in a couple of Assassin's trophies, trim a little bit of the graveyard stuff, running like that. All right, on to game number 2. We're going to be on the draw. Interesting. We have our restricted Demonic Tutor. Battle for the Bridge is fine. We got a strip mine. So what do we DT for? So Demonic Tutor for Azusa maybe? And try to set up Azusa, strip mine, Ice Till, and just have the hard lock. Don't it. Leaves it on top. Yeah, we're gonna lead on a normal land. You can have a land for a turn. I think we want to leave up the possibility of casting Demonic Tutor next turn. Malevolent Rumble. Ooh, Surgical, okay. Well, we got to be aware of Surgical. That's the way our opponent can get rid of all of our strip mines. So opponent finds a Sowing Myco Spawn, gets the spawn token. We find a Thoughtseize. So we can Thoughtseize strip mine? Maybe that's... I don't really want the Myco spawning. Yeah, I think we got to do that. Yeah, let's Thoughtseize. The problem is, so it's DTing to get the Azusa to set up the Azusa lock. really good, but if we're too far behind when that happens on board, we can still just lose, even with our opponent having no lands. That is a pretty decent Eldrazi hand. We definitely need to strip mine. We do have the Fatal Push. If they draw something for Ugin's Labyrinth, we're probably screwed either way. I think we got to take the Myco spawn. We don't want them to start ramping. So we take the Myco spawn. We strip mine. So if they draw an expensive card that lets them double mana with Ugin's Labyrinth, that's really bad. Otherwise, the best they can do is Ugin's Labyrinth Flesh Rake. And we can Fatal Push the Flesh Rake. And that costs them their... Okay, they draw a land. And that costs them the spawn if they want to play something. All right, there's a Flesh Rake, but they cost them their spawn. That's big. That's big. Oh my god, we drew a strip mine. Oh, that's insane. Okay, that is a perfect draw. Now we get to strip mine again. Get rid of... Yeah, Sanctum Movement's never going to do anything. Let's, I think, just get the Stomping Grounds. This also turns on Revolt to get rid of the Flesh Rake, and we might have just stranded those Eldrazi in our opponent's hand. We might have just stranded them. Opponent. Okay, they drew another land that is big for them. Well, now it is finally time, I think, to cast the Demonic Tutor. And I think we're going with the same plan. It took us a couple extra turns because we kept drawing strip mines, but we're going to take the Azusa. Opponent. Ugin's Labyrinth. And okay, nothing to exile. So they can play a Flesh Rake, but we can kill the Flesh Rake. Are they passing? Wow. Huh, you don't say. That's a Chrome Box, is it? Well, in that case, I think we're going to keep the Azusa. It's a little greedy. I think we're going to pitch the Fatal Push. So this lets us land Ice Till. Land Ice Till Explorer. Get back strip mine one of your lands. And then next turn Azusa comes down to just strip mine all the lands. And our opponent's hand was good. They got Thought Knots, they got Flesh. I don't know why they didn't cast anything this turn. That's weird to me. I don't know what is that unknown card that would make them not cast their Glaring Flesh Rake? That part's just so odd. It's got to be a counter? An Ugin's Labyrinth? Like, or Ugin's Binding? Like, oh, Kozilek's Command. All right. Well, thankfully, we have two strip mines. So they exile a strip mine, but there's another one. And now Ice still does its thing. We mill a land. Strip mine. Get out of here, Breeding Pool. And I imagine that does it. Okay, they find a land. They crack the land. They can play the Oh, they might not. They might not have any fetchable lands left. They play so many colorless lands that they might have only had 3 fetchable lands in their deck. Either that or they start to look at their deck and just realize they couldn't do it. Well, I guess we can't beat Eldrazi. That went way better than the first time. Oh, this hand looks pretty wonderful. Deathrite, Strip Mine, Chrome Mox, even a Demonic Tutor. Opponent leads on a fetch land. Well, we will, I guess, just lead on. Since it's a fetch, we can't strip mine them this turn. So I guess we just go Forest Deathrite? Yeah, Forest Deathrite. I don't think we're going to Chrome Mox anything. We could Chrome Mox play another Deathrite, but I don't know if we can afford it. We don't know what they're doing yet. I'm afraid to pitch the Fatal Push. Definitely not pitching the Demonic Tutor. Gets a Surveillant Commercial District Day. Leaves it on top. Sure. All right, Arena Zoomer. What are we doing? Ancient Tomb. Okay. Stone Ray. Wait a minute. Are we getting land destructed by an Arena Zoomer? We can't let an Arena Zoomer out land destruction us. We're gonna strip mine that Ancient Tomb. And now we will exile the Ancient Tomb. Good thing we have this Deathrite. If our opponent's playing land destruction, these Deathrites are going to be super good. Deathrite number 2. Pass the turn. Nothing to target with your Stone Rains, opponent. Whatever are you going to do? Whatever are you going to do? I think they're also trying to be a land destruction deck. They seem more like a Ponza. Seeing the Gruul and the Stone Rain, it seems more Ponzi, which also makes sense. I considered going Ponza. I considered trying to go Mono Red Prison, and we are going to play Mono Red Prison at some point, but... Ooh, Ice Till. Oh, that's actually an obscenely good draw. Well, now we're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of this Fatal Push, y'all. And now we're going to play a fetch land. Crack the... This might just be game here, actually. Crack the fetch land, grab a forest, Deathrite, Exile the, I mean, we get to get down the Ice-Till Explorer. and strip mine again. I would not be surprised if this leads to a concession. Ice-Till and strip mine and do a little milling and put you back down to 1 land and your go. You shouldn't have Stone Rained us, opponent. You shouldn't have tried. You shouldn't even tried an opponent. Turns out the power strip mine is is higher than Stone Rain, apparently. So opponent, I'm assuming they're a land destruction deck. I'm assuming they're trying to strip mine us, honestly. I think they should know better, but we're gonna bring in 2 Assassin's Trophies. Bring in the Force of Vigors. At least, yeah. I also imagine they have Blood Moon. And if they Blood Moon, we can't strip mine them, and that's the only reason we're here. So I think we need to make sure we bring in answers for potential Blood Moons, just to make sure that we get to keep strip mining, because if not, what are we even doing here? So yeah, let's bring in both forces, go down a couple of Reclaimers. Actually, you know what? Maybe go down all of them. 1 Fatal Push. Let's run it like that. The other thing to keep in mind with cutting the 1-drops is if I was playing their deck, I'd probably be playing Chalice. So cutting 1-drops, oh, that hand's horrible, helps us play around Chalice a bit. Yeah, that hand is about as bad as a hand can be with this deck. 3 Chrome Boxes, an Elvish Reclaimer, 3 lands. Yeah, that's not going to do. That is not going to do it. All right, well, this hand is definitely not swift. I guess I'm a little nervous because if our opponent has fast land destruction, I guess we just have to sit on the fetches. We just have to not crack fetches until we can play something meaningful. Because if they start blowing up the lands, we're just never going to get to these 4-drops. Ooh, Ancient Tomb. Would you like to Stone Rain our fetch land? Opponent says no. Well, Burn Catacombs, go. The good news for our deck is if we can avoid getting Blood Mooned, we do have the ability to play lands from the graveyard, which seems kind of good. Wow, double Ancient Tomb. All right, well, let's see what big scary thing you got. Chalice of the Void X2? Do we even have any 2-drops in our deck? Do we actually have 2-drops? I'm trying to think. I mean, I guess it should sound like Assassin's Trophy or something, but 1 would have got us pretty good. 3 would have got us, but I feel like 2 is actually the safest number for us. Well, let's untap. There's a strip mine. We probably just got to strip mine an Ancient Tomb. Our opponent has a lot of mana right now with double Ancient Tomb, so blow up 1 of them. Pass the turn. 99% sure they have a Stone Rain in hand. You could see them hovering on our lands, so I'm pretty confident they have a Stone Rain. They just don't have a target for Conduit Pylons? That is a person who really wants to surveil. When you get to the point of playing Conduit Pylons and Timeless, you know you really want that surveil opponent. Passing. Ooh, Deathrite. Hi. Is that good enough to crack a fetch? I assume that as soon as we crack a fetch, we're gonna get hit by the Stone Rain. I think we're gonna wait. I think the real reward is, well, there's a strip mine. The real reward is something that lets us play lands from the graveyard. Well, I think the time has come. The time has come. It is the great cracking. Windswept Heath. Grab a forest. Windswept Heath. Grab a forest. And also Verdant Catacombs. Grab a swamp. Yeah, let's just ram an excavator. Get back the strip mine. Blow up the Ancient Tomb. Okay. So we're a little more even on mana now. If our opponent wants to strip mine, that's fine. Because we can play lands from the graveyard. Our opponent currently cannot. And now we just keep strip mining every single turn. Opponent, Boseiju. I probably should have played 1 Boseiju in this deck as a Blood Moon answer. Fury. All right. Well, I mean, sure. There goes our ramming up excavator. I mean, we got the Ice-Till in hand, so we have another version of that effect. Our opponent kind of needs to, ooh, Conduit of Worlds. They kind of need to strip mine us here, but instead, it looks like we're gonna get down the Ice-Till, which is kind of huge. We do need to answer this Conduit, or that lets our opponent play lands from their graveyard. Well, Verdant Catacombs. Crack Verdant Catacombs. With the conduit out, is it even worth strip mining? That is the question. Let's play the Ice Steel Explorer. I think we actually need to get down the Death Right to exile the lands from our opponent's graveyard. I think, oh, we milled the Zusa. I think that's better than actually just strip mining. Let's get the Forest. Mill another Ice Steel. Play the Death Right. All right. I mean, we're getting there. We're getting our pieces stacked up little by little. Hopefully they don't have a second Fury. We managed to fade the first one with the Excavator, but I mean, I guess they can cast it from their graveyard. Yeah. So they can kill the Excavator. They get the Fury. Yeah, it's got to be Excavator. We find a 1 ring. Fury is a little annoying just because... Yeah, let's eat an Ancient Tomb. Start getting the lands out of the graveyard. Fury is a little annoying just because we can't Fatal Push it. Well, let's play 1 ring. Get some protection. Draw a card. Ooh, Force of Vigor. Okay. Okay. It might take us a little longer to get things set up, but I was getting worried for a minute. If we get outland destructed and outstrip mined by an Arena Zoomer, we can't let that happen. We can lose to anything else, but we can't lose. We can't lose to an Arena Zoomer playing land destruction. We might be okay now. The Force of Vigor is kind of huge here. That gets rid of the Conduit. Once we get rid of the Conduit, then we can start land destructing again. And we got 1 rings to hopefully draw us into more Ice Tills or something. Found it. All right. I mean, we're kind of fine with our opponent strip mining. That means they are also going down a land. So they're kind of strip mining themselves in the process. We can play extra lands. They can't. Well, okay, maybe they can a little bit. Sowing Myco Spawn with Kicker. Yeah, I mean, our opponent's definitely a land destruction deck. Gonna snag our Overgrown Tomb. Gonna get a land. Good thing the Chalice is on 2, so we can still Fatal Push without getting countered. About it. Ooh, wow. Okay, Bajuka Bog. That is actually pretty good. That is actually very good. Wait, did they just Bajuka Bog themselves? Pretty sure they just Bajuka. Oh, but all right, let's draw a card. We had protection, so they just bogged themselves. Oh, all right, Force of Vigor. I guess, wait, if we can do it for free during their turn by pitching this Reclaimer. We do need to not die to the Fury. Let's play the Strip Mine. Let's blow up the Ancient Tomb. I think this works. Blow up the Ancient Tomb. Then we can eat the Ancient Tomb with the Death Right to play the Reclaimer, which is actually big enough to block the Fury or trade with the Fury. On our opponent's turn, we can just blow up the Chalice in the Conduit so they can't keep playing lands from the graveyard. Not that Bajuka Bog was hilariously bad for our that was so bad because they're trying to loop strip mines from the graveyard and there's no undo, right? Because you've already tutored it. So once you realize that the 1 ring protection is there. Oh, that was so brutal. Well, Elvish Reclaimer. So we got a way to block the Fury. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. And upkeep. Force of Vigor. Out of here, Chalice and Conduit. And, well, this one took us a little while, but I think we got there. Now I feel like we've essentially got this one locked up with a ring to draw 3 next turn and another ring in hand. I mean, we're gonna find the Ice Steel eventually. And now we're not at risk of dying to the Fury, which is huge, because we're gonna block with this Elvish Reclaimer. And passes. We drop to 12. Well, 1 ring. Do a little card drawing. We can play a bunch of Death Rights, I guess. Death Right's been really good. Having a main deck way to just like shut down graveyards actually oddly relevant. An opponent scoops it up and, well, Arena Zoomer tried to teach us a lesson about Strip Mine. In the end, it failed, though. And, yeah, that's the power of Strip Mine. It is a pretty messed up card. So what did we learn this week about teaching Arena Zoomers about Strip Mine? And record-wise, we went 7-4 with the deck, which is actually pretty solid, a 64% win rate, which considering just how busted Timeless is, we will definitely take it. Very, very solid record. I will say, the deck is a little bit matchup dependent. We struggle the most with degenerate combo decks. If someone's like, turn 1 Dark Ritual into Necropoence, or turn 2 Dark Ritual into Goblin Charbelcher, those are the kind of matchups that we got to get kind of lucky to win. We still can't beat them, right? If we have our best draws, maybe we have a Thoughtseize or a sideboard card. But the super fast combo decks, those are our hardest matchups. On the other hand, any sort of fair deck, oh my god, is this deck kind of busted. Like, if you're actually trying to like get up 3, 4, 5 mana to cast spells, you know, like just play a game of Magic, our deck is really good at not letting people do that. And we saw it again and again that once we get Strip Mine going and we find like our Ice Till Explorer, we can pretty quickly do the one-sided Armageddon thing of just looping Strip Mines from our graveyard over and over until we get rid of all of our opponent's mana base, and then eventually we win somehow. We just kind of piece it together. Like, really, once all of our opponent's lands are gone, it doesn't really matter. We're going to figure out a way to get our opponent to 0 life eventually, or more commonly, they're just going to scoop it up. So I will say 2 things about this deck. So obviously the plan worked exactly how we wanted it to. We got so many flawless victories or pseudo-flawless victories with the deck. But 2 things. So one is, Ice Till Explorer is the absolute truth. That card is even better than I expected it to be. Like, I knew the card would be good, and it looked like a commander staple, but the more I actually get a chance to play with the card, it just absolutely blows me away. Yes, it's 4 mana, but it's hilarious that it has 4 toughness, so it dodges Lightning Bolt. We saw it dodging Flage in our games, and it is just a ridiculous amount of value. Obviously absurd with Strip Mine, but even getting back fetch lands for ramp, it just allows for such huge, explosive, grindy turns. So Ice Till Explorer, the card is really, really good. As far as Strip Mine itself, I will say I am the biggest Strip Mine lover. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love playing with Strip Mine. I love playing, you know, Vintage Cube with Strip Mine. Just any format with Strip Mine. I really enjoy how the games play, and I think it actually leads to some really tough decision making. The sequencing of it, it's actually like a skill testing card. All that to say, I don't know if Strip Mine should actually be legal and timeless. Like, we saw a lot of Strip Mines. We ran into someone else playing straight up land destruction. We saw a lot of people just randomly playing some Strip Mines in their deck. And it also leads to some really awkward games where sometimes you just like double Strip Mine someone and they had a land late draw and you just accidentally kind of beat them just by almost variance that you drew 2 of one thing, your opponent didn't draw a lot of another thing. So I don't know if it actually leads to like healthy play patterns. So I will say, as much as I love the card, this isn't a call for bannings, and I would be perfectly happy with Strip Mine remaining legal forever, but I would not be surprised if a couple of months from now, depending how things develop, I would not be surprised if Wizards ended up restricting Strip Mine in Timeless. And I want to make sure to mention this because just don't go out and spend all your wild cards on a Strip Mine deck, because there is a realistic chance that it ends up getting restricted at some point in the future, because even though it might not be too powerful, the play pattern might be something that people don't really enjoy having around in Timeless. I think it's going to be really fun for like the next month, just getting people with Strip Mine, but I imagine it's also going to get tedious at some point. So we'll see how it shakes out. But I will say, record-wise, the deck worked way better than I thought. Ice Till Explorer is absolutely busted. Strip Mine is still hilariously powerful, and we got to hand out some really important life lessons to Arena Zoomers. So anyway, that is teaching Arena Zoomers about Strip Mine. That's where it gets the odds for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.